Welcome back to the WODprep podcast. I'm your host, CJ DePalma, with the bestest host, Claire Bays. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm peachy. How are you?
I'm good. I'm working in. We're warming up.
Let's
Warming up.
we already talked about it, but the fact that you had the opportunity to not go to bed at a ridiculous hour and then still chose to do so anyway.
Well, when caffeine's humming,
What
it's
did you
humming.
wind up? What was your resource for caffeine this time?
Oh, it was just coffee. And
Okay.
so yeah, it actually started as like I was pretty tired, and then I just kind of got sucked into some stuff that Ben was asking me to do on some, like, I don't know, company stuff. And so anyways, it's yeah. All right. Let's start with this because I think is a good point. Brandon, walk us through this. How do you
Brayden.
get top 1% on 26.1, but 75th percentile on 26.2? Because I'm assuming that means you can't do muscle ups. If so, you know where to go. But watch me through it. Walk me through it.
You want me to walk you through it?
Well, I don't know. I want him to walk me through it.
Oh.
I need him to tell me how he's going to get 75th percentile. Like, you can't do rings at all. You look like a grown man. Grown men can do rings. I don't know really how else to say it. Like, it's like,
Okay, well, speaking of the grown man, let's give him something tangible. We did discuss this on yesterday's live. We've had a chat about this numerous times, but if he hasn't even, there you are, Roxy. Lito, I want to know how you feel about this workout, considering your performance after 26.1. Like,
dude, this is a fucking
because Lito's so fit and so strong, and I don't know Lito's gymnastics. Are they really good? I mean, I think Lito's just really good. But like, is that something? I mean, yeah, I guess that's kind of a silly question.
Yes. She's going to be top 10.
Okay, sorry, it got distracted. Back to, let's make this useful for Brayden, as far as it would be if he hasn't even been attempting rings, but only singles. Okay, well then this isn't the same. If you can do single ring muscle ups and like you're fine.
Here, Brayden, if you want me, I can assess this on the call. If you want to drop me a video, you want to send me a text, you can text me your video and I'll pull it up here and give you some feedback if you want.
Are you gonna give him your phone number?
Yeah, it's right here. Yeah, I used to do a live call in at one point.
That's right. Yeah, text him that. Okay, he said he did his first ring muscle up yesterday and it was without a false grip. So like I think he's been fine.
Lito, you're still good at rings. You're just not as good. It's still very good. CrossFit. This is funny. CrossFit is pretty funny. Good morning, Leslie. Here, let's make sure we say hi to everybody. Slater, how'd it go? Lloyd Davies, what's up? Vic, good morning. Miko, Alexander. Whenever I see anyone's name Miko, I just like immediately go to like Miko Salo. Like, I just like my brain just like,
that's a good place to go.
You know?
Yeah. It's
I think Gucci's going like right now.
Oh, really?
In an hour.
And she had the announcement that she's going to be on Team Reykjavik this year.
She did.
So that's a big announcement.
Big announcement.
Yeah.
Yep. Super cool.
So Gucci, I feel like everybody here probably knows, but that's CJ's one-on-one athlete, and she's semifinal level as an individual. Competed a ton last year as an individual, and she's going to go team for Reykjavik this year. So.
Yep. So, yeah. All right. What a cool workout.
Yeah, I think it's a phenomenal CrossFit Open test for many reasons. Like we need the gymnastics at some point. Yet again, we could go back to, is Dave listening or is he whatever, like he brought rings back. Everybody was begging for it. Most people were. And
everyone was. I think this progression, I think it's just a gymnastics test, right? And which is great. That's what we need. We need a pure gymnastics test. Like even last year, and like even last year, that barbell, I made this comment like 25.2. It's a great test for the masses, not a great test for the top, right? Because it's not enough volume to slow anyone down. Like the top 3% go unbroken on the entire workout. And that's a huge number of people, right? And I just don't think we should have workouts like that, or multiple workouts like that with like the dumbbell snatch and the burpee, where it's just like gas pedal the entire time. And so here, besides maybe a couple of people in the entire world, maybe one, it's you still have to make a conscious decision of where to break, right? Or where to slow down and where to prepare for the last bit. And so I think that's important for the top. And then for the masses, it's, okay, who can do a lot of muscle ups? Who can do a few muscle ups? Who can do one? And then there's the split. And then they gave the opportunity for the 55 plus to do a muscle up and show what they can do. I coach a 70-year-old male, right? Who's got a knee thing. He's kind of beat up, but that dude can do some fucking muscle ups. Like it's nobody's business. And he's like, oh, I got a lunge. I'm like, dude, you just got to get there and do one. And there's only probably 10 70-year-olds that can do a muscle up. Males, right?
We saw 170 plus at Legends do a ring muscle up. Exactly. And he did all of them, but he was the only 70 plus at Legends in December that did a ring muscle up. So yeah.
Yep. And so it is
now some of those guys were close and it was timing, and I would venture to assume that since then to now, some of those guys have probably figured it out because they didn't like getting stopped like that. But anyway.
No. And so it is I think it's good. I really like it. If this had been 20 bar muscle ups, it would have completely it would have been just the exact same workout as last year, like identical across the board. It would have been the same exact workout. So
do you think somebody like Colton who prioritize, like we know that the grip, whatever, but I think maybe for the volume of the workout, I don't know that his grip is going to like blow up in a meaningful fashion just because the overall workout that's like a conversation topic. But if he does have a tendency to swing for the fences and try to win the open, do we think he's going to, like someone like him would try to go unbroken on the whole bit? Or you think even for him, it's pretty unrealistic to think that he would try to bite off 20 ring muscle ups at the end of that workout?
I think he's less fit at rings than he is bar. I don't think he has that fitness. I mean, obviously he can do 20 unbroken. But I don't know. I don't know how much. I don't know if he can go unbroken. If Taylor can't go unbroken, right? We're gonna see. I mean, there we go. So
do you see Taylor vomited after the workout?
Oh, did he? Yeah. I mean, Taylor puts himself in a crazy. Oh, a great thing. I want to pull it up, right? Because I just want to go over how fast. I don't think people realize how fast the girls actually went.
Well,
because or at least in the first part. Obviously, the workout's very fast, but I don't think people realize that finishing the amount of work and having the last tiebreak at 4:30 is insanity. When Taylor's was like 5:05 or something like that.
And if you looked at the three of them, their paces threw everything up until the ring muscle up. I think that was one of the takeaways, that it isn't a surprise, but it is noteworthy that yet again, Lucy won the workout. Lucy didn't come out hot. The girl in the lane next to her was literally shot out of a cannon, and she just stayed in her own lane. And so it's not super surprising at this point. She does have a lot of competition experience at this point. She's obviously a very high athlete IQ, but and just the fitness. But I love seeing, like, she didn't get lured into anything. Like, her faith and her fitness was there, and she did what she knew to do, and it paid off.
I kind of disagree with you. I agree with all the overarching concept of that. I think she 100% got lured into it. Did you watch Taylor do this?
I didn't stare at the screen the whole time, so I did sort of.
You watched this first, and then you watched Lucy and Miriam and even Amy, you would be like, oh, Miriam baited both of them. There's no way that they intended to go that fast.
Gotcha. Okay, so you think they did go a bit faster, maybe not at the speed that she went at, 100% but faster than they would have gone. Well, in a way, I mean, it appears as though, I don't know, I guess we could go back and take a look at the rest periods for Lucy on the rings once she got there, but like maybe that actually paid off. I don't know. Well, had she slowed down a little bit, would she have had that much more gas in the tank for finishing the muscle ups faster?
Probably. I would assume Lucy has like 15 or more unbroken. And she went like 6:05 5, 4, 3, 2, something like that.
Okay.
And that's certainly not a bad chunk. And so, but I think she probably could have held bigger. And arguably, if you really look at it, like Lucy probably got away with a rep or two there that were, her and Miriam were pretty sus at the very end.
On the rings specifically.
And so, but they both knew, like Lito just said, like Miriam's like public ability on the rings is well below a games level athlete. Like it is like mid semifinal level ability. And so, but I do think they both got baited into going a little faster. So yeah, I mean, but obviously it worked out. I think sub 7 is an extremely fast time. And so, I mean, with Taylor going 12.8 the entire time and only beating Lucy by like 15 seconds or 10 seconds, right? And you did 2 sets and Lucy did 5.
And you said the girls, they like, so Lucy was ready, was done with all of the previous work prior to the muscle ups around 4:30 versus Taylor's 5:05. Is that what you said?
Yes.
So there's a 35-second difference in when they got to the rings.
Right.
Which, I mean, it's hard to make that just linear comparison, right? Because their capacity on ring muscle ups is probably not linear, but.
Right. So we'll call it 5:08. And then I think it was like 4:30. And so that's a huge, I mean, and he was he's cooking. He went unbroken on everything, right? Didn't get called back. I mean, just watch his lunge. Right. He steps through the entire time. Right. Mm-hmm. And now arguably where his rings are, and he's got to step forward. So he's got to come here and then he's got to turn around and go back. Right. So that's like an extra couple of steps because his rig is in the middle of his walk space.
Sure.
Right. So something to consider, right? He's got to go this way instead of the other way, and so it's just a little further, and maybe that's the distance to the other way. So maybe that's pretty standardized too. So it was, that was a longer rest, like just a little bit here, but I mean, they flew. I think even at the highest level, that's a really less than ideal decision for every female. Like no female needs to go that fast. And I mean, unless you're going to hold more than 5s at the very end comfortably, you probably should break somewhere that last dumbbell snatch. Like you don't have to blitz through it either.
Well, I know generally too for you, correct me if I'm wrong, but just like even just the pace of the dumbbell snatch in and of itself, slowing down the cycle rate there. I'm assuming that's something you would encourage people to do to some degree.
Yeah, I mean for heart rate, right? Like So interestingly enough, the dumbbell snatch with and Taylor switched arms right at 40 feet, which is what I've been telling a lot of people to do. I've been telling most people to put the dumbbell down at 40 feet completely, like the whole time. And so because the dumbbell is off the ground, like because it's still constant time under tension, right? It's splitting at 10. I have the suggestion for a lot of people to split at 10. Especially in their last one, just to slow it down. Like what's 10 seconds there if it gets you on the rings 10 seconds faster, and then hold another chunk, right? So it's I mean all those times are going to be world beaters for sure, and so I'm interested to see what people can do. But I think a guy goes sub 6, they come out like Miriam and they hold like 12.8 at the very end, and they're able to hang on for sure.
Who do you think wins this one in the world for the men?
I don't know. I'm going to go to quarterfinals and see who won that muscle up workout 2 years ago. The handstand push-up muscle up. That would be my guess. Whoever won that is probably going to win. Probably going to win this workout.
You're pulling that up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For the women, do you have a guess without looking at that? Or are you going to take a look at that as well?
I mean, Tia would have won. Her gymnastics are just unbeat at that level. Like her muscle ups under fatigue are so good. My cache is completely fucked for the games website. Like nothing.
Lito's got a great guess. Alex.
Alex. Yeah. That is a good guess. I think
her upper body strength is just freaky. But I think Paige Rogers is somebody to take into consideration for this one too. Just, I mean, she had
They
an
did.
exceptional performance on 26.1, and she's gymnastic.
She's very good at high volume ring muscle ups. She pushes away on all of her reps. It's I don't know. I hate it, but it is what it is. I hate that. I hate that style of muscle up. I yell at Gucci so much about it. I'm like, just do over the fucking rings.
I mean, technically to standard, it says that you must.
I know. So
I'm just grateful to get over the rings anyway. So I'm not pretending.
You getting over the rings today?
Yeah, we're gonna mess around and find out.
Fuck around and find out. That's what
I'm gonna definitely like for me in this situation, because of course, just for context, guys, I got my first ring muscle ups last year and in the fall, and then I am the just stereotypical. I love being a member of the affiliate as far as my own fitness goes, taking class, and I, at this season of my journey, do not spend a lot of time working on my weaknesses outside of that. So, or I shouldn't call them weaknesses, but the things that I need to improve upon, or that whatever. Anyway, so I'm going to do in warm up, I'm just going to get together with the coach that I've worked with most consistently. Shout out Mads. And we're just going to kind of get me over the rings a handful of times, because yet again, I need to feel mine is the turnover. I feel like that's the area of the thing that needs to be drilled. And so I'm just going to spend some time beforehand feeling what that should feel like, and then see what happens once we get started with the workout. Obviously, I'll go paced throughout the workout to not be dead there. Let me know if you have any additional thoughts on that.
I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
This was an interesting, so this is something that I saw come through. CrossFit says he has an unbroken Karen at some point in his career. Which is an interesting thing, which means that CrossFit was really fit, because unbroken Karen is no joke, no matter how shitty your technique is.
Yeah. Can't wait to kick my feet up too high at the end and get stuck.
Yep.
Aw. Is he referencing that he's going to break the plane and so it'll be a no rep, or literally he's going to get out of?
No, it's just like what happens is people get biked, right? Because like they don't have a lot of hip drive. So they have that muted hip, so their feet just go, and then they go to fold, and then they look like a folding book at the top.
Yeah.
I can't, I don't know, my
yes, 5 a.m. squat club, areas of opportunity.
My games workouts not working. Let's see. The quarterfinals, CrossFit.
Tristan says, CJ, we need to block out a week on a True Detective side quest to figure out who CrossFit is.
Yes.
I saw Tristan just recently had a conversation with John Wood. I haven't looked into it very much, but I saw a clip from it.
Yeah, I told him he looked hot with his glasses on. All right.
So
he's my coach crush. That's my dog. All right. Handstand push-ups. Tristan, what workout is it? What's the workout? Is it workout 3 from last year? Oh, Augustine Raquelme, which is who John said he went unbroken on the very end. Here,
yes.
Show my screen.
Yeah,
so that's who he said. I don't think
he's not signed up this year.
Yeah, he's not signed up. So Saxon's probably a great pick. Saxon's very good at muscle ups under fatigue.
So is the French guy.
We have David DeMarco, who didn't do any reps except that workout, which is probably not ideal. Victor Hoffer.
There we go.
Enrico Zanoni. Yonakovsky, probably a good. Yona does really good in the open workouts. Spencer, so both Panchicks. Ricky, 730. Guy, probably actually a pretty good workout for Guy. True, the volume's not quite high enough in his like that density. 624. I think someone can go sub. I think they're like the numbers are just going to keep popping up, and so people are just going to shave, right? Very similar to the wall balls from last week. Right, it's like a number popped up and someone shaved some time. A number popped up and someone shaved some time.
What do you think that the fastest times are going to be for the men and women?
I think the men can go. I think someone can go sub 6.
That's crazy.
And they're going to get it unbroken, and they're just going to do all the other work faster, right? And they're just going to take the risk, And if they blow up, they blow up. Women, what was Lucy? She was 650.
Yes, somewhere right around there.
Okay.
So what, do you think somebody will get below a 6:30? I mean, that she's
650. Yeah, and so this is a good point, right? This is basically like a workout like this is an iron sharpens iron sort of workout, right? Where like people are just going to pull people forward more and more and more. So I think it really depends on like where the group lies. I think Paige Powers is a really good example. Oh, what I was saying about Paige was they did a quarterfinal prep workout on the Mayhem site, which was like snatches and rowing, ascending ladder up to like 145 or something like that. And then it was a 2-minute rest or a 3-minute rest into 3 minutes max muscle ups. And she looked like she was like taking a nap and did 30 in 3 minutes. Like it was a real chill 30.
She's
real
remarkable.
Chill. And so
I remember, I think the first time I met her was a few years ago, and she's just so sweet. I'm amazed by her, but I like as an athlete, but I love her off of the competition floor as well.
She won beach brawl the year she got 10th at the games. It was like 22. And that Mayhem crew, because the whole Mayhem crew came down. It was the first year they sponsored the event, and the whole crew came down, and dude, they party hardied.
What, the Mayhem crew did?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that for them. That's actually surprising.
Yeah.
Vicky says, "You love everybody. We must remember this about me. This is very true."
Yeah,
I'm not your temperature check on loving people, because I do love everybody.
You are.
It's annoying.
It's I mean this is also very possible too, right? I think there's
what, taking the win?
Yeah, like just a random really, really fit smaller male.
Oh, hey, are either one of those guys that got whatever, second and third, first and second, I don't know, did their score stand, whatever, those guys for 26.1, are either one of them on the team with Gucci? Who are the men on the team with Gucci? Do you know?
Yeah, it's both of them. They won.
It's those two.
Here, they're in first place. They're in first place on the open leaderboard.
Cool. Okay.
Yep. So
did you watch that video? Do you have any thoughts on the depth for the gentleman in the black shirt?
I mean, I think the
angle was poor.
Yeah. Well, the angle was poor for. He had another video. The guy that got second had a different video that didn't get published. So that wasn't the same video for the guy behind the box. He has another video that I think was private on his page, or that was submitted. And then CrossFit. And I mean, their step overs were good.
Say that.
Huh?
Try to say it.
No, that's not his actual name. That's like a joke.
But I want to like try. Jorn Gilfens Ditaratisarson. No, that is not his name, but he's a daughter and a son.
A daughter and a son. Well, no, he's a Leaf. He's a Leaf. Which means he's not a daughter.
I need to pull that up for people to context. Okay, there we go. That's what I just tried to say.
And I don't know. I mean, I think some of them were close, but I don't think it was certainly egregious by any means. Not like what's her face winning that row workout the other year by like 30 seconds, or like a huge amount of reps and not having a video, but still getting the win and just not getting the money. Like I was really sad that CrossFit like let that ride.
Yep.
I do wish maybe they'd police the top 50,
I will say
maybe a little more.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then also because of all of this chatter this week, back and forth, barbell spin, doing a lot of videos. Hiller, of course, doing videos. I'm assuming you saw the, oh shoot, what's his name? The one that does the content for Scott Vandersloot and his little tiff with Hiller this week. Did you see all that?
Oh, Scott. Yeah.
Well, anyway, all of that stuff bringing a lot of attention to standards. I wonder if, I actually hope that more members of affiliates and the owners of the affiliates and the coaches and so on help the members who are judging do a better job understanding standards before they do the test, like that definitely, I mean, as much as, getting into the weeds of the details of how everyone feels, like at the end of the day, like you said, you got to be over the top of the rings, not pushing back away from them. Details like that matter tremendously. And I do hope that affiliates do the best job they can helping their members who are choosing to judge. Because I mean, it's volunteer work, right? Like it's helping out your friend, and they're not typically coaches oftentimes. And so them being able to even see movement and dynamic movement, like this is a lot to ask of an everyday gym goer. They're just trying to figure out how to do the movements themselves. But anyway, I am hopeful that maybe there'll be a little bit more attention drawn to like, hey, these are the standards. This is what you're looking for. But anyway.
Yeah, I think this is it. And I think this is sort of like this, like there's just like this slide, right, of like Pukey the clown culture, right, and like burpees because you're late culture into like let's do anything is better than nothing, which is totally fine, right? Like I have nothing wrong with that. Like
Absolutely.
Like if push comes to shove and you want to do half rep wall balls and like that's your expression of fitness, that's cool. And I support that 100%. I support that 1,000%. If High Rocks is your thing, if Orange Theory is your thing, it's kind of gay, but it's fine. Whatever it is, if that's
Wait,
your
what did
thing.
you say is gay?
Orange Theory. I was just, but like literally anything. It doesn't matter. And
I don't know enough about it.
And so, right. And so, but because the name has like generally not carried as much weight of CrossFit, people are scared to lose because they don't coddle their members, But I think the reason why it got popular and why it's the way that it is because we didn't coddle our members, right? We pushed them beyond what their comfort levels were and things like that. And so I think there's definitely a balance point of it. It's like, hey, if this is where you can squat, that's cool, right? But if you want to do this thing, which I think you should try to do, right, and move that level of your fitness forward, then you have to do it this way. Yeah, exactly. JD. Me and JD talk way too much behind the scenes.
Do I know JD? Other than existing in the chat?
No, he found my phone number one day and he just started texting me.
Well, it's on the bottom of the screen, so anybody
exactly.
can find
it. No, I'm just kidding. No, he's a good dude. He's a gym owner. He's a pretty good athlete. And he's a really like grind my gears kind of guy. And so we just like talk a lot of like, this really grinds my gears, so.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, as much as, it is for the community. We do want this to be something that people feel like they, like we do want this to be a fun thing, but I think that both can absolutely peacefully coexist, and leadership always top down. Right. And so then like, hey, we're going to have fun with this. We're going to do, Friday Night Lights about it. We're going to have themes, whatever it is that we're going to do, intramural, you name it, when the workout is, and so I think someone set up above something to the effect, let's see here. I don't know where it is, but that, I mean, ideally you've been helping your members understand the standards that are applicable in the, like all year, right? This isn't a new concept to them, but that doesn't mean that before you start with the show, taking time, pausing and just drawing attention to it and being like, this is a moment where this is actually really important, And so if that conversation doesn't get had, if that conversation is not had, then
yeah, it's tough. Well, I also think there's a little bit of a disconnect from Scott's statement to reality, in the sense of his reference was yelling at the 500th place masters. And I was like, bro, that 500 place masters is still qualifying for the next stage. And that's really fucking important to thousands and thousands of people.
Yes.
And so it is a problem there, right? Like it's very Hiller, like it doesn't matter. And it just maybe matters a little less lower down, but it matters more because like we've tried to, like, the only way to do this thing as a sport the only way to do this as a sport, this like crazy fucking exercise racing that we do, is
Throwing
to
up at the end of the workout.
standardize the repetition, right? It would basically be like giving a foul ball a home run because they tried hard, like in softball, like, like, I don't know, 80-year-old slow pitch softball, right? Oh, it was close to a home run, so we're going to give it to them because they're 80, right? They tried really hard. You know what I mean? But it's like, no, it's a foul ball. It's the rule.
Right.
It's the rule. It's a black and white. And so the only way that we can make this thing black and white into a sport is with standards, right?
Yeah.
And so that makes it very important.
Yeah. And Vicky says, it matters to me, and I'm towards the bottom of the leaderboard. And I will say that I think saying it matters less down towards the lower end, I also just don't agree, because yet again, just because a person's fitness isn't at such a level where they're higher on the leaderboard doesn't mean, like, whatever their journey is, whether they are new or they've been around for a long time, they are just getting back in, any variation whatsoever. One of the huge selling points is data. Right. And so then it does matter. It doesn't matter where it is on the leaderboard. Like every individual choosing to participate realistically, or I believe that most are absolutely looking at that data to tell them some information about their performance relative to everyone else. So I don't care where you are on the spectrum. Like, I hope that we're encouraging them to look at it through that lens, and then therefore the standards do matter.
Right. And I walk back what I said. I expand it. It does matter everywhere. I apologize for saying that. Vicky, you matter more than everyone to me.
Yeah. And then also, you said, I support you if you're doing partial reps or whatever, like there's a place for that, right? Like there is a place for, if we're on the journey and we're not yet able to reach full depth, like then we're on the journey. Right. And it's still like strongly support people gaining access to range of motion over the course of time, because it is something that does take time, and so, however, that means that if you were unable to achieve it, then for the purpose of the workout as written, we didn't get any reps.
This is how I read it. This is how I looked at it. And it was not so much that he doesn't care. Again, he just said it doesn't matter. He says everyone cares. Like, I don't think there was a malicious intent saying that their scores are less important by any means. I don't think that was his goal. I think his mindset was that if you're not high in the sport competing on a daily basis, then your score matters less, right? I don't think that's and so this is just defending Scott a little bit. It's certainly not a no one cares about you. It's more of a, we want more people to do it, so let's find a way for more people to do it. And while I agree with that overarching sentiment that we want more people to do it, this is not the way, right? And justifying shitty reps is not the way, right? Just in general, like, it just isn't. And so,
not for the purpose of this test. Yes, in day-to-day, everyday training, the athlete that's coming in that is not yet able, like, yet again, that is heck yeah. And I think that, like, per usual with these things, I believe his heart was in a great place with this. I kind of like, it was fun to see him get fired up and so on.
Yeah.
But for the purpose of the test, if we're taking a test, we have
100%.
to. There was something that JD set up above that I did want to draw attention to. He said, once you set the culture, your members are proud to be a part of it. I am proud that my members know more about standards than most coaches and owners. And I just want to say, awesome, JD. Like, I'm grateful that you have created a space where that is the case, and more of that. That's awesome.
Yep. Oh yeah. There's like, and someone said up there, like, everyone knows. Yeah. If someone said up there that, like, everyone knows the easy judge. 100%. The only no reps that I've, like, or the vast majority of no reps I've ever gotten was being judged by the owner's wife, Jen. Me and Jen, like, we like definitely like butt heads. Yeah. And so I never let her judge me. Like,
I definitely remember having, like, well, I say I had preferred because I was at the same affiliate for over 6 years. And then now that I've been in Austin and moved around in Austin so much, I have finally been at the affiliate I'm at now for over a year. And I will say, having Mads judge me on Monday was awesome. So maybe she would be, but generally, I don't know. I'm not at the stage of the journey of being like too in the weeds about it, but I remember when I was at the affiliate that I was at for that 6+ years, that our high level athletes, there were some of them that, like, preferred me as a coach, and we had to or as a judge, and we had to talk beforehand about communication. It is a fun thing too, because you can build a relationship as a judge athlete. Yeah. I
agree.
Anyway.
Yeah, I I don't know, do your shit. And so in coming back to it, like
Do
a
your
workout, do your
shit.
shit.
All
Like
right. Yeah, cool.
do your shit. Like just do
Noted.
the thing, do the rules. It's black and white. Coming to this week, right? It's I think besides the like the muscle up.
There are many opportunities for this to go awry.
You think so? I don't know.
Absolutely. Chest to bar, chest making contact, chin over
Do
bar,
people?
chin getting over the bar.
I
What?
don't know. I feel like chin over the bar, maybe a little, chest to bar, way less, and muscle up at the highest level, pushing away. You know, it's just how strict you want to be. Who called it out? What games athlete was it? Kyra? No. Yeah, Kyra Milton. No, it wasn't Kyra. Who's the one that looks just like Kyra? There's
I
two of them.
don't think there
Goes
is
straight.
another one that looks
There
just
is.
like
There's Kyra and she trains with Noah. What's her name?
Oh, well, she doesn't look just like her, but
Babe.
I see her right now. Sorry, I'm thinking. She's so sweet. She's from Canada originally. Why am I blanking right this second?
Anyways, she posted.
Oh my gosh,
she posted last year, like sitting in her car, and just like a, I don't know. It was more of like a shower thought, right? It was just like her. I was like, hey, I stay over, Annika. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I was waiting. Like, this is driving me insane.
Yeah,
Yes.
and so they look a lot alike.
They do not look alike literally at all.
Anyways, so they she was just like, hey, you have to like, you can't push away the rings. She's like, I stay over for all of them, and people hold double set, you know, multiple, twice the volume of sets that I do, blah blah blah. And anyways, and I was like, good, call it out. It's true, and especially on the female side. And it's just frustrating. I just wish Fraser wouldn't have like found this style and been able to time it really, really close and skirt the line of locking the muscle up out. But dude, I hate it.
Well,
So
I think there's already being a lot of attention drawn to that detail, which is a good thing, because during the time where maybe it was becoming more common, for a while, it was like the awareness around it, the attention to it was lesser because it wasn't so common, whereas it has become more common. So then hopefully we'll start to have more people paying attention, looking for that and calling that out. I mean, that we're talking ring muscle up. So we're still looking at, higher level fitness at that point. But
I feel like the chest to bar is definitely one that gets no reps pretty regularly, like throughout affiliates too. No?
Sure. I'm not saying that it doesn't, but I am saying that, like, yet again, judges on the floor looking up at the athlete, whatever position that they're in. Yet again, you're talking about like someone who's a member who doesn't typically, it's a member who doesn't even do the thing or whatever it is. I believe that it is one that currently, right? Like they don't even do them themselves. So yes, is it easy to say the standard is just has to make contact below collarbone? Yes. Seeing that in dynamic movement repeatedly for whatever. Anyway, you have to know what you're looking for and be paying close attention. And so do I think that no reps get missed? Sure.
Man, I get it out fast. So we tried a new way to get our video out earlier last night, and it didn't work.
Oh yeah, the strategy one.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Yeah, it is out. Our full strategy guide is out. It just took a little longer.
Yeah, I think a lot of people. And Mal was a fallback specialist, by the way. She really was. Interestingly enough, because like she was a fantastic presser, so there's no reason. That's my like.
Well, could the reason be that she was taught by Matt?
Probably. I mean, like just to try to skirt the line and create more efficiency. I don't know. Anyways, it just never made sense to me. Like, because you can't even hold a support. And I mean, I guess because you're not creating tension at the top, so there's less muscle contraction and less fatigue at that point. It was always interesting for me for this general, like cut of like, I don't know, like skirting the line, that it was like everyone did it. No, like even good pressers would do it. Like I understood when people just like struggled with pressing, right? Like a dip, they just like struggled with that point, and that was the only way that they could find. And so seeing it like at the very end of a failed rep, but seeing it every rep, like it just never made sense that was the more efficient way to do it. I don't know. Anyways, but I also never even considered coaching like a fallback or a push away. Even if you could keep your shoulders over the rings and push yourself away like fast enough or time it well enough. So anyways, what was I saying? I was saying something. I don't know. It lost me. Fleeting.
Did you want to take a look at the, what was it, 23.1 or whatever it was?
Oh yeah, there we go. Someone asked for cut lines. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
23.1.
So this is just in reference. We're going to use this workout as an example to take a look at where cut lines might be for quarterfinals, etc.
So this is amazing because like CrossFit did like an analysis of this workout, which was really cool. I wish they would do this.
What, recently?
No, they did it in 23. They did it like right after the workout was announced and finished. I wish they would do this for all the workouts. That would be amazing. Here we go. Nope. There it is. Okay. So if we can, so people are going to ask like, where are the cut lines? Right. And so 23.1 was a 14-minute AMRAP, finished with 20 muscle ups, or it didn't finish with 20 muscle ups. It was an AMRAP. And so some people got through it, some people finished, but the muscle up was the separator, and it's really what dictated cut lines. This is when there was top 10%. And so basically they have a CrossFit put out, and I assume someone did this beyond the whiteboard, like just put out a very full, I wish they would do this every time. Like I wish CrossFit was like, here's $1,000 a week, put out a full analysis of all of the workout. You know what I mean? Like just make an article. Like this is so valuable. And anyways, so doesn't really matter for any of this stuff, even the distribution. And so here's where it generally starts to matter. And so basically we're trying to find out where the 25% cut line is going to be for men and women, right? For women, I'm still pretty confident that the cut line will be, the technical 75% cut line will be just under one muscle up, right? So like it'll still be a tie break time, will be right at that 75%. And then a little bit in, because if we even look here, 90 percentile still didn't have, top 10% still didn't have a muscle up back in 2023.
Wild.
Right. So it'll still be somewhere between, what's the rep
on this workout?
What, 312. So 312 is the non-muscle up thing. Oh yes. Make sure I touch on this too about the 55-year-olds like being able to do muscle ups. So for the females, the tie break time, time will pretty 120?
112.
112.
Yeah, because the every 20-foot length is one rep. So then anyway, 112 is cool. Before they get to the reps.
And so I still think that's going to hold the case for all divisions, right? Is one ring muscle up will put you over the top 25% or the 75th plus percentile, and by all women.
Okay, thank you.
All women. And for men, this is wild. Like I just want to, this is probably the biggest, besides just pure weight on anything. This is probably the biggest discrepancy that we'll see, right? Of like 10 percentile being like 15 or 20 reps more in a movement, right? Like it's just like such a huge number, which is just an interesting fact. But men is 5 muscle ups for individuals 18 to 34, which I thought is crazy. I thought that was really high,
like in comparison to the women, for sure.
I mean, just in general, right? Because like 50 percentile RX was
they got to it and got stopped.
1050. Yeah. So that means like somewhere in the 60th percentile is one rep, right? And that's what Grant told me. Grant thinks he's a leaderboard wizard. I'm glad he's not on the show today. I can't handle him sometimes. So anyway, so if we look through,
and you don't actually know that it's 60, it could be, I mean, that was the gap between 50 and 75. So actually one rep could have been a lot, it could have been 70.
Right. It could have been possible. For sure. Yeah. So anyway, so here it is broken down just a little bit more, right? So it's still, and this is interesting here. So we just went over this workout type and then score, because, this is when they remove scaled. So when you remove scaled, the 90th percentile or top 10% for women was a few muscle ups, right?
Okay.
Because it's all on one leaderboard, right? So it shifts all the scores down. Um, and then Bennett's waking up. I don't know if I'll be able to make the rest of the call. And so anyway, so if we go to masters, so if we're looking for the cut line, right? So 75% for women, again, it was a tie break, right? So if anyone in any age group gets a muscle up, you will be for sure. You will 100% be in the top 25% in whatever age group that is.
For women.
For women.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And then top 10% is probably going to be pretty similar here, which is one muscle up, maybe two. I think they're all going to shift up really high, right? So if you don't have any, you're still racing for a tie break, full sprinting to that point. For men, it gets a little more interesting, right? And you kind of have to guess a little more because I think that the 45 will have a rep this year. Like one rep will get you in the top 25%. Just because we're looking at 3 years, this shift, like basically all of these numbers will just shift down. So I think the 45 will have a rep. And then I don't think 50 will, or 55, 60. And I don't think, obviously a muscle up would be huge for 65.
And that's not a requirement to be in the top 75th percent.
Yeah, correct. And so it makes it a little easier to just kind of walk through cut lines. Now, timing and pacing, as far as like what those numbers will be, I don't even know. It's a tough one of like, okay, so you're in the male 50 to 54, and you can't do a muscle up. So what's your top 25% going to be? I mean, you can just like extrapolate the time on all the pieces. I don't think singles gets you there the whole way. I think it gets you close, but I mean, it's hard to say. I want to see some numbers come out of athletes that I work with that don't have muscle ups or that do, and just see what their tie break times are. But I don't even know how to put a number on. But this was cool, right? For I think under 35, and people that are like, they want to be in the top 5% and things like that. I think you can go to this website, just type in 23.1 test analysis, and then you can see some of the numbers, right? And I think that'll give you a really good idea of where you need to get to be in the top 5% or 1% or whatever it is.
Right.
So yeah, it's pretty cool.
It is cool.
I wish they did this for like all the data. Hopefully the WODprep sponsor this week, Work, continues to integrate into CrossFit, and maybe even like does what Whoop tried to do back in 2021 when they like put Whoop on all the athletes and they tried to like log their heart rate data and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Which was an absolute fail because like it just didn't, like it was weird. It just didn't work. They didn't highlight it. But Work, I feel like you just put that on there and you could see everyone's like rep speed, heart rate, cycle rate, like those kind of things would be really cool. And it would just be, data would just be there. Right. And I don't think any of the athletes would even have a problem with putting it on, if that was like a sponsor or something. I think it would be pretty cool and neat to see that. It's fun that Nelson wears it sometimes. And I get to see his data. Oh, good. Perfect.
Yeah, Vicky's going to start to give you some data from it.
Love it. So I think it's a pretty neat thing. If I was still competing, I would wear it 100% of the time.
Well, and then for athletes that aren't even, competing isn't even their thing and they're just curious and they like data. I had one guy reach out in DMs about it after the show yesterday, after Ben went on his like long, he was so excited. One thing about Ben, he is excited. And I love that about him. Like just excited, fired up dude. I love
all
it.
the time.
Yep.
I love it. Corey, I think this was, so when they did it, Rich wasn't a games athlete at that point. They weren't posting it there. He did that power. He did 20.1 sponsored by Whoop, which was the power snatch, bar facing burpee workout. and I remember because my goal was to beat him that year because he kind of just moved through it, and I didn't, but I was close. It was a good one for me. And so we I just remember that video because like his heart rate never got like over 130, and I was like, okay, it's either broken or Rich is just a complete fucking anomaly, right? Which is probably a little bit of the two. We know he is an anomaly. There is something probably like biologically and physiologically altered with him and his ability to tolerate volume and things and
Well, and
his
all those
uniqueness.
aerobic capacity all those years ago was talking about tracking his heart rate on other things and was saying he had some strange numbers.
Right.
So this is
Yeah.
not the first time this has come up for Rich.
100%. And so, or it just wasn't reading that great. It's still a wrist wear. Wrist wear is meh, right? Wrist wear is really tough to read heart rate, especially when you're moving. So, yeah. Holly, as of right now, no WODprep coaches are doing it.
But I think Ben was going to try.
He's going to think about it.
Okay. Cool.
So we'll see how the day goes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't mind necessarily, but then also like I get to the muscle up and then we'll see what happens. And I do think I'm going to be able to get it done, but I don't know if that's that exciting to watch.
You're going to put yourself on, on the tube, on the YouTubes, so we can watch you.
I feel like it would be a lot more fun to watch Ben do it just because Ben's so good at gymnastics. I mean,
he is good at gymnastics. That dude just, if there's something that Ben can do, it's randomly snatch basically 100% of his lifetime PR every time he touches the bar, which is like every weeks to months. And he'll do like 18 unbroken muscle ups. And I'm like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like Ben will just like not snatch for 6 months and then like snatch, like hit a PR, like 270. I'm just like, dude.
What?
Fuck, bro.
Well, I do know as far as at least the gymnastics and so on, I'm like, I can see why he keeps up his capacity because he's coaching it all the time.
Yeah, he's
not doing it in workouts, like he's
moving on the bar a lot.
Yeah.
Dude, this was fucking epic. I'm so glad you remember this, JD. This was the best blow up of the entire season last year. I love Ben so much, but that thruster like boof was hilarious.
That actually would be really funny to see him just like run headfirst into the wall and find out where it is.
But yeah, Ben only runs headfirst into the wall. Ben talks a big pacing game, but Ben don't do that shit.
He really should stream it, I feel. This is funny. I've seen this in the comments on YouTube multiple times over. Has he put on a lot of size, or is he just people are like, yeah, you've been around longer at closer proximity.
Yeah, I mean Ben was always like a super gainer when he wanted to be. Like he just is very genetically designed to like have a big chest, have really round shoulders, have a lean stomach and narrow abs. And so he goes through phases. I think that when he was training, he was big, and then he got like really thin. No, Ben's like 5'9". Ben's same height as me, maybe like a smidge shorter. And yeah, he just goes through his phases. Like he's just a super responder, right? Like if he trains consistently for like 4 to 6 weeks, like he's gonna look like a fucking Born Primitive jeans model, like just like out of nowhere. I'm just like, dude, the fuck is wrong with you? Like he always has been. I mean, he's very genetically gifted. Like he just is, right? That guy has a pretty wild diet of basically fasting and then gorging himself. And then he recently did a lot of blood work and it wasn't great. And so he fixed a lot of things.
Yeah.
So yeah, Corey, you are less vertically gifted than I realized when I met you in person.
What a statement.
So yeah,
we were talking about height literally yesterday in class, and then one of our members is originally from Africa, and he was like, why do you guys care so much about this? And I was like, I don't know. It's definitely something people talk about. So off of the open, the only other thing I know that I wanted to just touch on is the fact that we are CEO less.
Oh yeah. Is it even, I mean, I think only one thing matters. Well, a couple things. I told you, I don't think this is all we're going to see. And that makes me really sad and concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Losing Don doesn't make me that concerned. Timing is weird. I think Hiller and everyone is right. Don did not leave. There is no way that he was just like, let me just fucking put a knife right in the middle of everyone's heart and leave right in the middle of the open. I think it's clear that he was most likely fired. And then they tried to PR it as like a mutual leave or a Don leaving, right? Sevon said he's seen them do that in the past. Hiller said there's no way that that's how that went down. And I tend to agree. I think that he was probably let go.
So with the let go, with that idea, do you believe that they wanted him to be let go right that second? Or do you think it was like, we are going to want you to leave? And then he decided when. Also, in that debrief post, whatever, on the CF network, Peter was saying how he believed that he had heard that they were trying to bake into the deal of the sale that Don stayed CEO. Like when they were trying to sell the company, but that was all rumor, was basically what
I don't know. I mean,
but
so I don't know that much at all. I can't see a point where it's like, ooh, this guy is CEO. That's going to sweeten the pot of this $200 million deal. You know what I mean?
Right. I don't think that it was a sweeten the pot. Like maybe that was the deal that he had. I mean, I don't know if it was like
like that was a required part of the sale. Like he has to stay CEO.
Correct. Was how that was articulated, which it seemed to be nothing more than a rumor that he was discussing, but still.
I don't know who that would benefit though. Like,
right. Other than if that was something like if Don had that agreement.
Unless Don has stake in the company that we don't know about. Right. Like that would be the only way that would even make a little bit of sense.
Yeah. I did think it was interesting how Hiller pulled up all that old content whenever he first got hired and so on. And I think that the passion in his communication was higher. And he did, articulate that this was the toughest job he had ever done, ever had. And I just wonder how much we don't know about and how much it wore on him, because it really was. Did you watch that Hiller video? Like I felt like the 2022 or whatever it was. How he's been here for 3 years.
August anyway, 22.
Mm-hmm. And so those videos, like there was a lot more excitement and passion. And so I just felt like the communication, there was more energy behind it. And then in more recent years, not that it hasn't been, I still care about this thing at any point, but it almost was like, I've been beaten down by my experience and I'm less optimistic or something. And so those are just perceived things. I don't know how he actually feels. But I don't know. I definitely feel for him in this. Because I don't know what all happened behind the scenes, but
JD says all the haters are going to regret wanting him gone. And I don't know. I mean, I don't think anything bad happened. Right. Correction. That's a terrible statement. Obviously, like death of Lazar is terrible, but from like, we just have like shifted, we've like came down and we're moving in the right direction under his tutelage, right? Like he is still here and we are, I think, moving as a company and an ecosystem in the right direction currently.
Yes.
And so, but I think we all feel like the grass can be greener, but I am very, very not optimistic that it will be, as far as who is going to replace him, right? Unless they hire from within, like meaning someone in the ecosystem currently, like even someone that is maybe woefully underqualified as CEO of a company of this size. But it won't be. It'll be an outsider who doesn't understand it. And that makes me sad, or at least that's what I think will happen, because I don't know, PE and hiring agencies and stuff like that. And so, yeah.
I thought it was interesting that Hiller said that a potential good option would be the gentleman that he harassed in the early days. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Oh, Jada Coons.
There we go.
Yeah. But he's been in for 3 years now.
Yeah.
Right.
And I know
And
at least at
so,
Affiliate Con, we saw him there the whole time. We saw him. I
do
did
you know who Jada Coons hired?
No,
Jenna.
that's excellent.
That was like a J they knew from like Bally's or something. Like that's where
Berries.
Jenna was. Berries. Yes.
I think so.
Yep.
And that's
Bally's, same thing. It's like the
been a
2020
wildly
version of
positive
Bally's.
shift in that department for sure.
So
yet again, still, there are many characters there, but like that's gone well.
Right. And so, yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, I mean, Daniel would be great. Again, I think there's definitely a lot of options for people that can do it within our community. But I don't know. I hate saying that we're a special snowflake. Like because like we're not a big company. We're substantially smaller than most of the fitness regimes like in the world, right? Even the ones that we feel that we're superior than like our methodology is stronger than and all of these things. But like
our education, our standards.
Yeah. Like all of that,
we are a special snowflake. This is a strange business model.
It is. And so, but like saying it out loud is like saying like, oh, my kid's smarter, like, oh, my kid's advanced. Like I just like, it's just like a thing that I just like struggle to say.
No, but you feel that on a soul level. So just say it. It's true.
Well, I don't know. I assume it's true because I don't know business at that level. Right. So I can't assume that like, I truly know it. You know what I mean? I know from what I do know is like, we are very passionate about what we do. And there is a very unique thing about everything inside of this ecosystem, right? That isn't consistent with any other fitness design. And the pillars of why we are successful are 100% different than all the other reasons other fitness niches are successful, right? Also, how many fitness niches have grown out of this fitness niche, right? And so it's in that sense, it is extremely unique, right? But I really struggle to be like, there's no one that's an outsider that could come in and do well. I feel like there has to be, right? Like there has to be someone that can that can come in here, do market research and understand like how to make us grow and really understand like what makes us run. But I feel like there has to be because there's a lot of really fucking smart people in the world, right? That make a lot more money than the $200 million or however much CrossFit is worth in a year on their own, right? In their own business endeavors and things like that. And so I just struggle to be like, oh, no one can do it but an insider. But it just seems like it's got to be someone from the inside. Like it just seems like it has to be someone that's already like drank the Kool-Aid, like been in the trenches, done the training, owned an affiliate, made some money from it, has seen the ebbs and flows, the ups and downs and the peaks and valleys of this world, right? To know the direction that we need to go, right? And so it just does seem like it needs to be an insider, but it's hard to say like, oh, I don't know. There's got to be someone on the outside that can do it, but I just don't know if they're going to find that person.
Your example of Jenna coming in, she was not an insider. She came in, she drank the Kool-Aid, she really liked it.
Yeah, she's all in.
And so like she technically was not an insider at the time of coming in for her department role.
Yeah.
And that has gone exceptionally well. So I don't think that putting a barrier on it saying it has to be that way is literally at all the case. Does it need to be someone who becomes incredibly passionate about it? Yes. Tia would be an amazing CEO. Can you imagine? She likes to win.
Fucking shit. Fucking shit.
No, I could just see like, yeah, if she went and channeled the energy that she has towards wanting to see the business side of this thing be successful, that would be an entertaining. I mean, I'm inclined to think she could do it because she's just not made of human parts in between the ears, anywhere. She puts her mind to it, she'll figure it out. Anyway.
Fucking Dave. Fucking pegboard. It's a
I
great
guess.
workout for me.
Yeah.
Just keep.
Yeah. And she's still mad about it. That
Yeah,
hasn't been
it's
let
so
go.
funny. She's like, it was embarrassing. And I'm like, of all the things that could be embarrassing in your life, I don't think any of those, anything that you do on a competition floor could ever even be deemed or qualified as embarrassing.
I
Ever.
just
Like, not
love
even a
that
little.
that's like 1/16th place finish to her is
Mhm.
unacceptable.
Exactly.
Yeah, Tia would fire Dave for the pegboards.
100%.
That's funny.
Fucking Dave.
Yeah, here's your payback for that. Larry also up here said that he should have done his WODprep work a couple of months ago. I bet there are probably a lot of people feeling that, myself included. I would be further along with my muscle up journey if I were consistently working on it. So
This is Vicky. This is an interesting one. So, anyone else impressed by? I haven't watched the video. I assume this is stated in the documentary. Um, uh, negotiates all our contracts and sponsorships.
I don't know that it is. Well, in the documentary this year? They didn't talk about that.
I haven't seen it. I was just like a random. I didn't know this thing, but
Yeah.
in her defense, or like in her support, she probably only has I mean, she's not sponsored by a lot of people. Like she only takes on a couple at a time. So, you know, like she's not rocking like 12 codes on on her Instagram, like some other athletes. So
She's definitely in a
yeah.
position to work with the brands that she wants to work with, but she has gone through brands over the years, whether it's apparel or whatever, you know.
Right.
Vicky said that it was Nick talking about it on Savon, which is true. Thank you, Vicky. Yeah, no, it is unique. And even if she does the deals she wants to do, she does still broker them, which is unique.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. She only takes stuff she wants to take. But I mean, if you think about like if we were to go back through the years, the number of different shoes and clothing.
Yeah, I mean, she's gone through some apparel for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, I think the main reason why is it's probably not on her. But I bet that sponsorship for the apparel companies is big. And I bet basically, like, as it's gone through, you've seen they probably can't afford Tia, right? Because like it was Noble, and then it was GoRuck, and then it was LSKD, and then I don't know who she is currently. I'm surprised LSKD didn't stick around. I think if they would have stayed on that High Rocks push, it probably would have. But it seemed like they transitioned.
Stick around in the CrossFit space. You think that they're not here anymore?
They came in hot, and I have they just feel like they're like dividing their time as far as like where the push is, and it kind of seems like they're shifting as like more priority towards High Rocks. They came in really hot, like really, really hot.
Yes.
And then it seemed like they like were like, oh, this High Rocks thing is pretty nice too. And it seems like a little more of their effort shifted that way. You can just see it like on their page, like about this time last year when I was very confident that Tia was strategically planning a potential exit from CrossFit if it needed to happen and then working with James Kelly and the High Rocks thing and that LSKD deal. They were really shifting into that. And then I kind of didn't see them heavy back into CrossFit kind of after this time frame last year.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess it's probably realistic to say it's not their primary focus. It's certainly not their singular focus, but I will also say, I believe that, I mean, I know a lot of members of that team personally, and they certainly are continuing to push efforts into the United States specifically. And in Austin, they are growing and have got more members of the team here than they did. And they do a lot here, but it's in Austin, Texas, specifically, the running community is huge. And so there's a lot of focus there. And so
I'm so happy you said running community and not hybrid community. Thank you for that. And not painting a picture of a fake thing. She is still with LSKD, which I didn't even know, to be honest. Like I felt like it like was really hot, and then I just haven't noticed her wearing the apparel since then, really. I don't think she can't wear it at the games, but I just haven't noticed it. Like it was very like apparent at one point about this time last year. And then I guess it hasn't seemed as apparent.
Which they make great stuff and they are great people. I really like that brand. I hope that it sticks around in our space for sure. They really are wildly passionate about a broad range of fitness. modalities, whatever. But, and they're just fun. They're fun people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Their stuff is good. I liked it. I just
Yeah, the quality of the material is excellent. Yeah.
Oh yeah. What
Is
is it? Do you know what it stands for? Is
yeah.
is that what it is? Loose kid?
Mhm.
Is that why everything's baggy?
No, but I mean it's trendy, and so trendy is baggy right now. So they make a lot of oversized stuff. But no, the founder actually, he started the company. I think he was a teenager whenever he started it, and he was into, I believe, motorsports at the time. And so it's had multiple iterations. I actually interviewed him on whenever I very first started my podcast. It was in Madison at the hotel across the street in the pool room that I interviewed him, because that week I launched my own podcast at that time. So what was that, 2022, I think?
You told me when I interviewed you for the WODprep podcast that you'd have me on yours, and you never did.
Oh no. Well, I very shortly thereafter that then stopped doing my own. So there is that. If I ever bring that project back up, then sure, of course I would have you on. But I chose to focus my efforts elsewhere. So, but there's well over 100 episodes of that project, and the conversations there are really good. And the number of different characters in the industry and so on that have been on there. Anyway, it was fun. But yeah, so I interviewed him whenever they were just like kind of checking out the CrossFit space before they really made a hard push in. And yes, it does stand for loose kid, which is like a phrase over in Australia. It's kind of like, I don't know, hip. Maybe hip isn't the right term. It kind of makes me think of like rad. You know how rad is like kind of counterculture to some degree. I almost feel like that's that.
Yep.
That's probably a better way to describe it. Yet again, good people.
Isn't counterculture a brand?
Surely. I'm sure that it is. I don't know anything about it, but there's no way a brand hasn't grabbed a hold of that.
I don't know, Amanda. Let's see. I'll ask Nelson.
Counterculture clothing. Now we're about to like, yeah, it's definitely a thing.
Does work, track, breath, rates. Frozen yogurt brand. Sounds, yeah, it could definitely be like a super hip one. Like you go in there and they all got tattoos, right? Like their tattoos, they're playing like death metal, and they're like, here, take this. And it like you pull down the thing and it comes out really fast, but like all their sprinkles are like black, and their ice cream has just like a black tint to all of it. Yeah, it's counter. I knew it sounded, it is a coffee company. I think I knew that.
We got a frozen yogurt brand. We've got options. This is cool. Vicky said he said in an interview that an older guy used to tell him he skated loose, and then they called him that. That probably does check, because he was part of that world. And then I see here also David is a new WODprep Academy member. So what's good?
Dang, what's up, David? All right, I love it. I feel like we should probably post this, like let them know that we do this thing in WODprep Academy.
What? What do we do? What do we do there? Everything.
Huh?
What do we do there? Everything? What thing are you referencing? Because it's literally all sorts of stuff there.
The podcast. Like we should like, hey, we do the podcast thing.
Oh, let members know that we do this.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. I would like to think that many yes.
I always feel because like podcast CJ is much different than coaching in WODprep Academy CJ. And so I'm always kind of like unsure how people assess it when like I get on the car. Like I watch the podcast and I'm like, okay.
Wait, what? Okay, so what's the difference? Like, what are the clear differences that
I don't freely curse inside of WODprep Academy, which is like number one.
Sure.
And I don't know, I'm probably just a little more strongly opinionated here versus cheerleading supportive coach inside of WODprep Academy, you know?
Yeah. I think your character comes through in both places though.
I was told this last night at like 1 in the morning.
Say what?
I was told that last night at like 1 in the morning.
What?
That my character shows through even if I try to like limit it.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're still, I mean, even because I think you're a very direct communicator. I do believe your texting is, there's some strangeness there that is unique to you. But I think that's the case potentially for both of us, which literally just makes it worse. Half the time we're like, what language are you speaking right now?
Yeah.
But no, I mean, as far as your coaching feedback and so on, I think you're very direct, but I think that's a great thing. It isn't just cheerleader. I would never put you in the like, coach is a cheerleader. Like, not at all. Not at all.
So I was like going over some stuff for Ben at middle of the night, right? And we're talking about like my struggles with like Coach RX and as like the things that slow me down as a programmer and coach. And so one of them, which is very like relevant in my texting, is that when I'm typing, like my brain will like outmove my fingers. So like I'll be going through, and usually it comes in the like have not, has not, will not, or will, like that very distinct word in there that like is like it's going to be this way or this way, and I always end up missing that word. So it's like I have done the workout, but I meant to say I have not done the workout, right? And it's just like, so the whole point of it, like, so it just like diverts, and I do that a ton.
But this new model that you were referencing before the show, you think that will potentially fix that?
Yeah, it makes it go away immediately because I don't like, my brain isn't missing it.
Yep.
It's like I skip words when I am typing or writing because like I'm moving past it, and then I don't have the willpower to move back and like review.
Yeah. Vicky says that you have multiple personalities. Your Instagram is different as well. And then also, this is interesting. Lupe says that Grant has done the workout on his channel and multiple spaz attacks. What is that?
Yeah. Well, he texted me like a very aggressive fuck at some point for doing his, what is it? Keeping it real. Grant's such an interesting bird.
Is he good at gymnastics? I still don't know really anything about
him. Terrible at gymnastics.
Okay.
He's terrible, even though he's like a jacked motherfucker. He just won't take time to.
I did some weird shuffle. Get some.
I just want to go to this point. Like he's pretty buff,
10
dude.
bar muscle ups. So lunge, double unders, 10 bar muscle ups, 2 rounds of that. And then maybe just for the heck of it, with the remaining time, max ring muscle ups. So you get bar and rings, or a burpee, pull up a burpee chest to bar and a burpee ring. It's just kind of stale. Like, yeah, we're doing the overhead lunges. That's different. Cool. We got rings. I'm super happy about that. That's awesome. Great. Got the dumbbell snatch. We've certainly seen that before. These are butterflies doing a rake. Forgot how to do it because we got the rings first and double under. So
all right, I just want to see him do.
So I think this one, if you're doing it like in your, so on 23, I'm going to be able to hit delusional, and then I go again and I miss again.
This was crazy. He sent me that video. Basically. That was nuts. He made
it.
That is crazy.
I'll redo, and I feel like I might be
gap of death.
Delusional, but.
Gap of death.
I feel like when I go back, I'm going to be able to it'll be one.
Those hands were away from the midline.
Oh yeah, he's got that internal rotation, right? Instead of the pinch. Yep.
And let me be clear, I'm working on my muscle ups, but that's just immediately like, oh, those hands are really far away.
And some buckets of delusional do, and I feel like I might be delusional, but. I feel like when I go back, I'm going to be able to hit sets of, the cone got some violence here. So on 23.1, I've done that workout a lot, like dozens of times.
This is so great, Grant. Thank you for
this. This is good.
I'm sorry we're talking at your expense, buddy. It sucks.
In my head, I'm thinking, crap,
reps and stare at the rings
all over again. At that point, it's a decent gymnastic.
So wait, Jeremy's saying the one he did was a no rep, elbows weren't locked out. Did he do one?
Yeah, that was it.
Smart about it.
This is crazy.
Darn. Oh wow.
I'm really not happy. Yeah. I don't usually get upset.
Dude,
Sometimes
you could genuinely be helpful to him to help him improve his score. You need to have a conversation with him.
I have a conversation with Grant all the time. Grant's very challenging to coach.
Oh,
he's not like a super coachable athlete.
Okay, well, Grant, if you want a better score, talk to CJ and be coachable.
And so,
Because you're
yeah.
plenty strong.
Yeah.
We're not lacking that.
Grant benches like 300 plus pounds. But Grant's a very challenging athlete to coach, and then it usually only really works at like 1 or 2 in the morning when his like at least like lower stimulated. So yeah, he's a good dude. I like Grant a lot. But he's a very unique human. Sorry it was a crash out, buddy. I hope it goes better. Get your elbows in. I mean, there's lots of coaching that can go into it.
Yeah, you didn't get to coach the athlete that set it up
Oh yeah,
way
he
at the
never
beginning of the show.
said anything.
No, he said he could send it later, but not now.
Yeah.
So yeah, you want to like do you want to pull that back up and be like, what would you tell him to do? Use him as the
guide,
coaching example.
Show the value.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, a lot of athletes struggle with the turnover, and especially for the men, that prerequisite strength for many of them actually is there, and it's just a matter of obviously mechanics.
And I hate the people who are like, break it up. No, get it.
So I think he has pretty good hip extension here. So if we're gonna go, I just can't listen to him. It's a pretty decent swing.
Mm-hmm.
I like his arch. I think it looks good.
Mm-hmm.
I like the early hips. I like this body position, right? You can see that his shoulders are above his knees. His hips are above his knees, which is good, right? One thing that we see a lot of is we get inverted on our kip. And so think of like this, that the analogy that I use, the comparison is like if the GHD was set up where your hips were above your feet, the GHD sit-up would be a lot easier, right? Your back might arch a little bit more, but overall you'd get to a point where you would just fall over your hip because of gravity. But if your hips were below your feet, the whole entire movement would be a lot harder, right? Because there's a point where you just sort of fall over your hip, right? So we always want to keep what I call like a positive angle. So this is pretty good, but he ends up turning over really, really early, right? You can see him turn at the shoulder, not pushing the rings down, not being patient, allowing his hips to come up a little bit higher, right? And so then he turns, and then he just doesn't have a ton of range of motion, a very common upper body built male challenge, which is his internal rotation is shit. And so he can't get his elbows up and around. And as we have like our thing is called the gap of death, right? Those hands are wide, those elbows are out. So when you turn over, those elbows should be back like a ring dip. No one ring dips like this, okay? And so those flared elbows will not allow you to pinch the rings and get into that bottom support position, right? And so that's this biggest thing. He doesn't clear enough by pushing the rings away a little bit on his turnover, and his elbows are flared instead of pinched, right? And so that's like where it gets stuck. So yeah, and then that turnover is a little early. Those hips have a little bit more chance to elevate more. But because he's turning over so early, right? Like there's a lot of momentum here. Those hips are moving, right? So like because he's trying to turn over right here, if he would have waited just a little bit longer, just a little bit of that lever, the push down on the ring, he would have been over for sure. But he ends up doing it more like a chest to bar, right? Or like a chest to ring, staying too vertical and just pulling a little bit early. And I think that's where the killer is, right?
Yeah, and so that cue there, like you said, pressing down a little bit longer, so keeping those arms straight, just a hair longer, and letting it be that.
Yeah, you gotta clear the rings, right? Same thing with the bar muscle up. Like if you just pull your chest, you can't get over, even if you have the height, right? Like if you have the momentum in the height, but if you don't create a little bit of space to allow the bar to get to below your chest so you can get on top of the bar, same thing on the rings. If you don't clear the rings toward the hip a little bit, then you're not going to be able to turn the knuckles down and get into that bottom support, right? Or the bottom of the ring dip position. So, yeah. Grant, I'll text you and say, watch how far are we in? Hour 24 into the workout. Yeah. And there's also a fatigue point. Like Grant can do muscle ups, but they're still not great. They all look like this even when he's fresh. Fatigue's a big deal. I mean, he took his time for sure. He took his first attempt at 13 minutes. So, I mean, like he paced it out, but people are going to feel this. Like if you struggle with muscle ups under fatigue at all, this is a lot of work, right? So like it's a hefty amount of work, which is, you know, always a thing that I think people miss when we watch announcements is that's not us, guys. Like we don't look like that under fatigue. So yeah, this is where doing he didn't. So I mean, if he did say fuck pacing, then to take 13 minutes to get there is that's pretty paced, right? For someone that can do a muscle up, you took 13 minutes to do 100 reps, right? I mean, you're only doing like not a lot of reps a minute. You know what I mean? So, but
well, and so I'll just toss out there too that literally what we just did, where we pulled the video and just slowed down, paused a rep, kind of talked through it. That's exactly what in WODprep Academy we do in the academy coaching space every day, all day, where athletes submit their videos of their movements. And then our coaches come in and give them specific feedback to what's going on with them. And that is within 24 hours every single time there. Or there's a thing that we do called office hours, which is once a week. And with one of our coaches, it's often been, sometimes it is other coaches. And it's usually like this. So it's a live video. And if the athlete can be on the call live, great. Then they get to interact right then and there. But we always upload the recordings after the fact with timestamps. And so the athlete can go back and watch it as well. So they could upload their video of the movement in advance. And then they're going to get 5+ minutes on just diving into the little details of what's going on with their movement. So anyway, that is stuff that happens in Academy all day, every day, all week, every week. If you want that kind of feedback for what's happening.
Yep. Thanks, Claire.
You're welcome.
#WODprep.com/academy. Grant's fit in very specific ways. Like the dude can hurt pretty bad, but he just doesn't make, you know, he's very raw. You know, he is like his foundations are rough. Like that's the challenge. So Trisha's thinks high skill gymnastics are super tough under fatigue. And there's no doubt, right? And this is like the general flow that I talk about everything. Okay, is you got to have the strength to do the thing. Then you got to be able to do the thing one time. Then you got to be able to do the thing a lot, not under fatigue. Right. Then you got to be able to do the thing a lot, repeated efforts, right? Again and again and again and again. And then you got to do the thing with a high heart rate. And then you have to do the thing with complementary patterns that don't directly interfere with it, right? So some muscle contractions in different ways. And then you got to do the thing with interfering patterns. So lunging, overhead lunging, dumbbell snatching, and pull-ups before muscle-ups are interfering, right? And that's the last set. That's the last portion of it. But there is a progression. Just because you can do 15 muscle ups unbroken, fresh, right? Your odds of being good at them under interfering fatigue are probably substantially higher than someone who's only got 5 unbroken. But if you don't work through that protocol, right? This is also where I think a really good warm-up comes into play. And I think a lot of people
massively, this workout
are like,
it's imperative,
because your first rep is going to punch you in the face no matter what. So you should probably get punched in the face a little bit before so you understand what it feels. And so this is where a primer really comes into play. Also training, assuming the training has gone okay, right? But if you're not very good at your gymnastics under some fatigue, your warm-up should probably get your heart rate up a little bit, should probably fatigue your arms a smidge, and you're pressing, like pulling and pressing, so that you can feel how different that first rep is going to be. And so, Trish, just to be clear, if you can do muscle ups, there's not too many. How old are you? Assuming you're a 60-year-old female. There's not too many of you on the leaderboard, by the way. Like it's like not a lot. Like there's only probably 30 or 50, 55-year-old females that can do a muscle up, and there's probably only 10 to 15 60-year-old females that can do a muscle up. So
well, Trish also said she came out too hot, but she didn't say where she got stopped.
I think she means, I think this is the anticipated. Well, there's only going to be a few on the leaderboard then.
Trish said say 68.
All right, Trish. Well, you're going to be easily found on the leaderboard at that point there, champ.
Holly says
So-
it's super helpful to watch other people's videos in the live call because it's a lot because a lot of us have the same issues. Love WODprep. Shout out Holly. It's been fun to see her in there.
So I think this is where, like, not so much the training is important under fatigue, but it's hard to do this, right? I've talked about this a lot with John. John does a lot of this, which is just like write really hard fucking workouts and not to like say anything different, but it's like, hey, I'm gonna do this really hard thing with a lot of barbell cycling and muscle ups. And it's like, that's cool, right? Like that's good, but it's just not a great training designed for 99.7% of the training population. But even in your warm-up, so if you have them, your warm-up should be very much a position or a set you up in a position where like you've done a couple of muscle ups, like a little bit tired with a heart rate a little bit high in the last, like in that warm up, right? So you understand what it's going to feel like. Then you come down, 5-7 minutes, you recover, and then you start your workout. But like even, I mean, pretty much all of my athletes, Rose is a great example. Like Rose warming up her snatching is terrible until like 6 minutes into whatever workout we're doing. And she almost always misses her first squat snatch or first muscle up attempt on whatever it is because her warm-ups are terrible. And she does it on her own. In competition, we don't, because I warm her up. Or she's like, I'm tired. I'm like, no, you're not. You're warm. These are totally different things. Stop it. You're an athlete. You've done 7 reps of whatever it is. I was like, you're not tired. And so you should sweat. You should breathe hard in your warm-up, things like that, right? So just general things to consider.
Yep.
So, all right, Bennett's chirping. So
Rose is a stud.
It's time to roll.
How's Rose feeling about the muscle ups this time?
Not good, but it's fine. It's going to be her best muscle up workout ever.
I was going to say she's Rose, so who cares?
Yeah. So, well, to be fair, like muscle ups in qualifiers have like never been ideal, but like this is the first time that in March, Holly, I'm pretty sure you have access to it now. Didn't we push it out to everybody?
No, it's not out to everybody. Do you want me to just get it going for Holly?
Yeah, definitely.
I can. Holly, as of very shortly.
Right. Yeah, we'll get it. It's just gonna magically pop up on your feed here in like the next 30 minutes. Are you messaging Brent?
No, I'm gonna do it myself.
Oh, you can do it? You know how to do it?
Brother, I can do all sorts of stuff these days. You wouldn't even know what all I do.
Did you just brother me?
Yeah, because you don't even know what I do. Just kidding. But I have learned a lot, and it's thanks to Brent and Savannah.
That's cool.
No, literally, they have taught me everything that I do know, and I'm sure there's still so much that I don't. But anyway.
Yeah. But anyways, back to Rose. This is like, as far as where we are in the season, it's her best muscle ups have ever been. I've been coaching Rose for 7 years. Like I coached her as a 54-year-old at the games in 2018. And that's not true. 51. It was like 9 years. We're going a long time. And so her muscle ups have never been as good as they are now at 60. So literally, like she's still chipping. She's not quite as strong as she's ever been, but like her gymnastics, like there was a point when Rose couldn't do a strict handstand push-up, and now she does like sets of 8 to 10. And so for everyone that says that they can't get better,
dude, what a savage.
Like Rose has always been really strong, and she's still very strong for her age group. But peak strength is probably fleeted at this point in her career, but like peak gymnastics and aerobic capacity, she's still chipping away. And like,
she just aged up, right?
Yeah, she's 60.
Yep. Yeah. He's like, go be my champion.
That's right. No, that's it. I put in so much work. It's time to make it happen.
Yep.
She doesn't watch the show, so there's no pressure. But
no, yeah.
That's the goal. That's the goal. So Rose Wall, make sure to see it on leaderboard. Yeah, sick Rose, like literally flew for like 2 weeks, got 5th in the workout last week on like a whim.
It's crazy.
So, all right. I'm going to go hang out with Bennett for a little bit before Pepe comes over as our aunt, because she's going to watch me so I can actually work today.
Yeah, you're going to be busy today.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go back to sleep. I slept for 3 hours.
I love that for you. That's wise.
Yeah, I'm going to sleep for a couple hours.
Love it.
No. I can't even do the workout. I can't even do the workout.
You're going to do
I would have
supinated singles chest bar straight, right?
I'm going to do,
I guess
I'm
I
going to
shouldn't
go
say
in.
singles, but
I'm going to do some like ground ring work and see if I can do a strict ring dip and not completely shred my pec. If I can do a ring dip
You're
in
doing muscle
warm-ups.
ups.
I'm gonna do a strict
Ring muscle up.
there. If I was healthy, if I hadn't just torn my pec,
This would be a good workout for
I
you.
don't know, 20 strict ring muscle ups is a lot. I probably wouldn't have been able to finish, or even just like a really tiny kip. I mean, I would have like if I was healthy, I would have gone unbroken all the way to the end of this workout just to have like a blistering tie break time, like to try to be there in sub 5 minutes or something like that. Which I for sure I could do that, and then I would just stand at the rings. That's what I would have done 100%, and then maybe get like one like you want to have like the fastest tie break time to 1 rep, right? Because like so you're like at the like top of that, like
Sure, of
that
breaking one.
single, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So but anyways, we'll do some strict ring like toe spotted dips and stuff, and maybe some like ground turnover things in the warm up, and see if I can even pull. There's a lot of
Lat activation.
well,
Sorry, pec activation.
yeah, pec activation in like the middle range of a pull up that I don't think you really feel it until it like is like running through like an impedance, and you're like, oh, hey, there's a lot of chest at this point.
Yeah.
So anyways.
And I love the repeatability of this workout too, just because I'm going to go in and have a specific strategy to save myself for energy on the muscle up, but like this is a very repeatable workout, which is cool.
Yep. All right, guys.
Take multiple swings at it, different approaches.
Yes. How to slingshot. Yeah, exactly. Just like a full like press t-shirt, bench press t-shirt. It'd be fine. We'll be doing pull-ups like this. All right. Thank you guys so much. You guys have been great. Claire, per usual, you're awesome. And
hey, right back at you. Go get some sleep.
Yeah. All right, guys. You're the best. Come to WODprep.com if you are looking to improve your ability to do muscle ups. And we'll see you guys on the leaderboard, or we'll see you maybe this afternoon, but probably Monday night.
I hope so. What for Ben's attempt?
Yeah, maybe. Oh,
let's do it.
Duke knows. Do your dogs know like when like do you have dogs?
No.
I want to know in the chat. And you guys answer if you're walking. So Duke knows when I'm about to end a call. Like he knows the words that I'm trying to say. Cause like no matter when I end a call, the last like 5 or 6 seconds, he's like in my lap. He does it every time. It's very, very interesting.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome. Well, and guys, by the way, in reference to Ben's attempt, like make sure that you just like this and subscribe, because why not? But also if you'll turn on your notifications for the channel, that way when we schedule his live attempt, you'll be able to know, because we'll see if he does it, and it'll probably be kind of like a last minute schedule situation, I would imagine.
Turn that bell on. See you guys. Good luck. Crush it. Okay, bye.